Hi, my name is Rizwan Chima from Team Canada, and you are watching Yorker with Samir.
Welcome to one of the most anticipated episodes of Yorker with Samir. Before I start today's episode, I want to take a moment and explain what this show is all about. The purpose of the show is to create awareness of cricket in Calgary, Alberta, and of course in Canada. I think this will help us make cricket more competitive within Canadian leagues. Our goal is to get all the clubs involved from C&DCL. We will also highlight your favorite stars and their achievements in weekly discussions. I'm proud to have the heart and soul of Cricket Calgary on my show today. We have three well-respected gentlemen of the game. First, a student of the game who has made an impact in Elite Division ever since he has taken over the captaincy of his team. His team has won multiple championships under his command, the captain of Crown Elite Division, Bakr Zedi. Along with Bakr, we also have someone who is a true champion. He has won almost every single championship in C&DCL, and he has set some fantastic records over the years. He has also represented C&DCL at the highest level, and we are so proud to have him in the city, representing United Cricket Club, Manzoor Chaudhary. And last but not least, a man who has always been known as one of the most lethal bowlers C&DCL has ever produced. Just like Manzoor Chaudhary, Eason Sinnathamby has also played for Canada. His passion and hunger of success is the reason why St. John Cricket Club has been one of the most well-respected and consistent club in Cricket Calgary. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Yorker with Samir. It's great to have all of you together. First thing I want to talk about, a lot of our viewers, they want to know what drives your passion. Bakr Bhai, I would ask you first.
You'll ask me. Honestly speaking, I've picked up cricket at a really, really young age. Given that I've been blessed to play other kinds of sports as well. But the cricket, there's just this cerebral thing. You can go deep into so many different levels of, it's not just bat on ball. There's so much more going on. And just that aspect, the tactical aspect and strategies and so on and so forth, and maybe touch on it later, that I feel that you can really judge human character when you actually play that game and whoever's playing that game.
Yes.
So
That's great.
My passion came because in Sri Lanka, cricket is, the biggest sport that a country compete internationally. So when you were young, that's one of the games that got most popularity, right? Everyone watches it, everyone talks about it. So you want to be part of the, part of the game that is the most popular game. So
Yes.
And all your friends were playing, so the passion just came. As you got better, you got more passion because you want to do, the next level. So that's how I got my passion. Just the better I got, the more passion I got into it. Now I'm getting older, it's going backward.
That's true. It happens with the age. That's one thing that we know about cricketers. With the age, the passion does go down, but at the same time, the love of the game, it
Love of
never
the game
dies.
never goes away. That's right.
Yes.
Love of the game.
Manzi Bhai, what do you have to say?
I'll just piggyback with both of them. I think I fell in love with the sport, so it's like it's just part of your life basically, and we all grown up with our parents yelling at us.
Yeah.
Now it's the
Why are you
wives.
playing? Why are you
Now it's the
playing?
wives yelling at us, and pretty soon it'll be the kids yelling at us. It's one of those things, right?
All of you have won multiple championships. What does it take to win the championship, Manzi Bhai?
Oh, I think it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of dedication, a lot of planning, and the right group, and to work together for to win this goal, to win any kind of championship.
Yes.
And it's a lot of teamwork too. So a lot of stuff on the field and a lot of off the field stuff as well. So,
Off the field, yes. Bakir bhai, Manzoor bhai just mentioned off the field stuff. Tell me about it.
You know what? Off the field stuff. Basically, you're planning a lot. So as we're sitting here, if this was a season, we'd be sitting here thinking, okay, tomorrow we got a game against St. John's, man. God damn, Easton's gonna come up. Who am I gonna have going? Batting, bowling. You're thinking about fielding. You're thinking about all kind of strategies. Oh, I'm gonna have 2 slips here. I'm gonna have to these kind of batsmen. So it's always a thinking process. And I think whoever puts the most work into it will actually end up taking the prize. That's just as a group, obviously, right? You can't just have one person doing it. As a group, if you buy into that goal. So,
Samir, if I may add on to that,
Yes.
As St. John's Club, we always, to win a championship, you need core players.
Of course.
Like, you don't need 11 players, but you do need about 5 to 6 core guys that you could build on. Every year, they will show up, and what their roles are. And then every year you add a couple of players here and there just to have some kind of motivation to win every year. But if you don't have that 6 or 7 core guys in the team, it will always be tough.
You mentioned core, and I know you've been part of St. John's core for many years, and you have actually won. I was looking at some stats, and you have won 11 championships with St. John's. What was your sweetest memory?
Winning the first one, obviously, because the year before we won, we were like 1-15.
Yes.
And the year before that, we didn't even win a game.
Wow.
And then we already had a core because, every year we saw the improvement because we were competing every game even though we were losing. But then we added a player the year we won, I think it's Abdal Ali. He came in and he just gave us that extra push that we needed. And from that point on, we just took off for a few years where we were competing every year.
Question for everybody. How's the team shaping for 2016? Bakir bhai.
We're looking at, it's still kind of early, but, overall we kind of, our batting department got stronger. These 2 guys next to me probably want to shoot me, but, I didn't have much to do with a lot of the stuff that went on. But anyways, so our batting got stronger, but the bowling department still needs some kind of boost there, so.
Manzi bhai, what do you have to say?
My question to Bakir is how did your batting get stronger? That's the question.
Yeah.
So basically, if for those of you who don't know this, Praveen Sarai and Hamza Tariq actually came over to Crown over the off season, and both these gentlemen here are St. John's and United. They played for their respective clubs. And, we can have a joke about this. That's the great thing about this league. I mean, we can joke about this off the field, but if you ever see us 3 playing on the field, you'll probably think that these guys are the biggest enemies. But there's a mutual respect,
Yes.
and I think that's very important.
And we like to compete, right?
Yeah, so we're very passionate. We wanna
Especially
compete.
Easton.
Yeah.
I want to hear that from you as well.
Yes, he took one of our player. I mean, he can't hold anyone.
Is that you mentioned core earlier.
Yeah.
Praveen was part of your core as well.
Right,
so.
but to be honest, we told Praveen when he came, we weren't thinking that he's going to stay with us for a long period of time. But
Yes.
when he played with us, obviously he's one of the best players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He contributed. He scored a lot of runs for us. But, end of the day, the team has to play us together, right? You could have all the best players in the league. If you don't play as a team, you're not going to win. So we lost him, and we're going to lose Sip for next couple of years
Yes.
to school, which, we won't wish him his best. But he's going to be playing in Edmonton, so he's going to keep up with cricket.
Yeah.
And he's going to come back and play a few games for us. Other than that, we're still looking for some young players more than having... just to build some guys for the future. So we want to get some young guys and work with them, and maybe we'll reassess our team, right? Because we've been finishing second or third every year and not winning the championship. Maybe we need to rebuild right from the start rather than relying on people who done something well in the past. Maybe we need some new players, new blood.
Yes.
League has a lot of players, so we just got to find the right group of guys to play together.
We lost one of our very key players, Hamza Tariq. And, as everybody knows, he was, when you lose a national player, it's always a big hit on any team.
Any team, yes.
But, we wish him all the best. I think we're all together and supporting him in his new venture or new journey and new club that he's joining. And we as a club, I think, has taken this on as a challenge, and the rest of the guys has rallied together to kind of see how we can recover from this, and the guys are looking good. It's pretty much the same team, and as you know, you've seen us. We rely a lot on teamwork and team effort.
Yes.
And so it's going to be a very interesting, and I think it's going to be a very good year.
Tell me about that fire. After Hamza leaving, now the team is more passionate to, for United versus Crown especially now. How's the team looking at that?
I don't think we don't look at it that way. We're not just looking at against Crown or anything that. I think if we just play to our potential, I think we should be fine. And our guys believe that. I think there's enough talent in our teams to still do well, right? And I think everybody has realized that. That's the key.
Yes.
I think it's also good for the league, They're dominating right now, to be honest, right? Because they have all the core players.
So the league is now balanced,
I think team's well balanced now. And, Hamza is one of the guy kept United. He started...
Along with Munzi.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yes,
Munzi's always been there, right? But Hamza is the guy who's just teaching these guys to be, they're following Hamza, the way he's played this cricket. And, it's if I was the guys in United... I would want to beat Hamza every time I play against him. You know what I mean? It has happened to us in the past. When someone leave our team, we want to show them, we're still a good team without him, right?
Yes.
So and it's good for United guys to have motivation.
I think we're sensing a little bit of that.
A lot of pressure on Crown now.
Yeah,
they
so
have
it
to
all
win.
falls on here, right?
they can't do anything if they don't win.
So
it's a bad season.
Now it's going to be a lot of fire.
If you guys are watching those mind games before we started, hey, these guys got to win, right?
United, Crown, St. John, mind games has to be there. You play a lot of your cricket off the field too. So you can't.
We'd be happy if we made the playoffs.
Yeah, we just want to make the playoffs.
I got a question for Bakir Bhai and Eason as well. You guys have contributed a lot to cricket. Well, whether helping juniors, whether going on this tour, whether coaching. Why don't you sign up for any positions for executives? Why, Bakir Bhai?
Honestly, I mean, I can fall back on this and hide behind this. I recently got married, so I can say that I can't. Can't get the time
I'm
right
I'm
now.
talking about before the marriage. Even before the marriage, you were like.
You know what, Samir? Captaincy. Specific teams are easier to captain. Some teams are kind of hard. I'm not saying Crown's hard to captain or anything like that, but it just takes a lot out of you, time-wise and physically, emotionally, mentally. So it's hard to kind of, when I want to do something, I'm gonna give it my 100%. I don't want to go into the league, take up a position, and do it like half baked and half cooked.
Right.
If I'm taking it up, give it my all, and if I can't do that, it's not fair on the league. It's not fair on myself, my reputation,
and it's not fair to the team.
Exactly. So.
I've been in the league for 27 years. There's time I did.
That's older than me, but
Yeah.
go on.
I don't know why I even said 27 years, but when Mansoor and we were young, we were doing some stuff in the league because the league was very small, and I was a treasurer for 6 years for Alberta, and then 3 years for Calgary District Cricket League.
Yes.
But once the executive changed a bit, you want to contribute when you be in a part of the executive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just don't want to be one of those guys just take a role and not contribute at all.
If I might jump in, I think
Of course.
I think you did miss a few parts here. I think Bakar volunteered and coached the Stallions for a few years.
Yes.
And Eason went on with the Alberta team as the manager for a few years as well. So I mean, they it's not like they haven't done anything. It's just that they've done their part.
No, but I do understand what you're asking, Samir.
Yes.
Because we have gone to a couple of meetings, to the league meeting, right? And I feel that because there's two parts of the league right now. There's you got the majority vote, yes, but you have this 40% of the people who doesn't really agree with the executives right now.
Okay.
But it's going to happen no matter
It happens,
which
yes.
league you play, right? The majority rules, and for me to be part of that executive, I don't want to be in the executive and then just have that friction, not pulling the other way when all the executives.
Valid point.
Yeah, right. So, obviously people are still voting them in, so most of the people are happy with what they're doing.
Yes.
When people are ready for a change, and obviously, at that time, if you have the right executive, I'm sure, we all will contribute to, what we could do for the league.
Bakir Bhai, I have a question for everybody, but I want to ask Bakir Bhai first. what is one thing we need to change as a league or improve on?
I was just thinking about this. It's a good question. One thing I've always wanted, been playing it for a while myself, is during the off season, you're looking at a good 7-8 months of downtime.
Yes.
Maybe have something like a practice facility or something that, guys can still stay engaged. Somewhere we can all just go and hang out or do something as cricketers.
Yeah.
Not going to a baseball diamond and making that into a cricket field or, a strip. So maybe, having a facility or something like that, or a small net or something, a bay or something, that'd be nice.
Yeah, or even, what do you guys think of indoor tournaments?
Yeah,
Would that make any difference?
If you have people playing all the time, it's good for cricket, right?
It's good.
Because people are always involved. I mean, when me and Manzoor's time, we used to just wait for summer to come, and then it will take us 3 months just to get into and then to a top, not at the top level, but at a good level, and then the season's over, right?
Yes.
And so, if playing throughout the year, of course, it's going to help you when the season starts.
Manzoor bhai.
Well, I think there's lots that we've done that we've come long ways from when back in the days when me and Eason used to play. We've come long ways from that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a couple aspects that we really need to improve on. One is having juniors, like Eason said. Their club and all of our clubs are looking for good juniors, but there's not really any juniors that are coming up that you can see. And there used to be a time where you'd go to Riley Park and there'd be a lineup of juniors, right? Mm-hmm. And you see who's good, who you can bring into your team. I think that's healthy for the league to have a good junior program where you guys can go, clubs can go and scout on kids that can play in the future and invest on. And I think the league, the executives are currently on it to start a junior league, so that is already a positive step. Other thing I really think as a lead cricketer, I think we need to have.
I asked for one. Okay, go on.
We need to have some sort of turf wicket in Calgary.
Yes,
if we can.
very important.
Right, I
very
think
important.
if a cricketer, if we want to go and play at a higher level, the adjustment is just so much different.
Massive.
And you just cannot. You can score 1,000 runs here, but when you go up there, it's a different ball game, right?
Edmonton has it now. Yeah. We should have it too, right?
Yeah, no, I think there's some issues with the city, but there's nothing you can't get past. I think we all as a league need to look at that, right? Yeah. If you want to improve cricketers from here.
Hopefully we can have that down the road. Yeah. Now, you touched on juniors. I'm gonna quickly ask Bakir Bhai and Eason. United has been so successful recruiting juniors. What is it that you guys are doing differently that it's not working?
Is that for me?
Yes, Bakir Bhai.
Can I kind of push that off to Eason?
No,
give an answer.
No, I could answer for our club, right?
Okay, sure.
Everyone goes, every club goes through this phase, right? Because when we were winning, every time we go to because we are the only team who's practicing at that time when we were winning. So when we have new players coming in, they see us practicing and they want to come and play for us. Mm-hmm. But at those days, if you already have a core of guys, it's hard to break your team. For example, when Sumit came to play for us, the first net session he came, he practiced, and he left. He didn't think he would make our team.
Wow.
And then a year later, he came back, year and a half later, we were watching cricket together, watching the Australia-India series, I think, in Rajesh's house. And he said, okay, I'll come back and play. I'll try it again.
Yeah, and Sumit is one of those players who any team would love to pick.
Right, at that point, that's what I'm saying. So when your team is winning, you just not looking for that next guy, right?
Yes.
Because you already have the core. Your team will automatically attract good players.
Yeah.
But now we are going through the phase. Now we have to rebuild. So now we have to, approach players differently. And, I hope juniors will see our team and say, you know what, I'll get more opportunity playing for St. John's. Because there's not many young guys. They will come and join us, and we will hopefully give them enough opportunity for them to grow.
Bakir Bhai, I'm not going to let this question deflect.
Okay.
So you would have to answer.
You know what? Touching on what Eason said, I mean, he's right. I mean, when you're winning and you have a certain combination going and, you have a core group of guys, you tend to take that success for granted, I guess, after a while. Mm-hmm. It's only when you dive and you see the other side of things that, you're like, you know what? We need to start rebuilding. We need to go through a certain kind of get rid of some of this old blood, get in some new blood, and take it from there. As far as why we haven't been successful, we have been successful actually. A lot of the guys that have played on United, they went through Crown, right? Crown and even St. John's, right? So it's it's not so much that we haven't been successful. I just think that United has a better recruiting policy, I guess. They have more sexier players right now, right? If you had Hamza Tariq or
Are you talking about
Munzi
looks
by himself,
or
but Munzi by himself, he's
Good-looking guy,
he's the coach and he's done so much stuff, right? So you think that as a youngster you can go and learn more from guys like him and Hamza and so on and so forth. So makes sense from that side too, from a junior perspective, right? So
Manzi bhai, how come that phase is not coming to United? Tell me that.
No, you know what? That phase comes to everybody. Actually, this what I think United has advantage over on other clubs. I think we got lucky. We rebuilt at the right time where there was some good juniors, and we recruited them, and then we gave them a chance, and we taught them how to play the game, and and the transition it just worked out the way we all wanted to work out. Our senior players faded out, and the juniors players, they just took over and just started to take on their roles, and one thing leads to the other. So it's a good combination more than anything.
Right. Now the players that you have picked, they were not ready-made products. Yeah. Some of the clubs in Calgary, they have this mentality: you gotta be a certain way to play for a certain team. With United, I don't see that.
Yeah, no, we look at different things when we recruit any youngster. Number one thing is passion for the game, commitment, and if the kid wants to learn. There's a lot of juniors that just wanna come and take a free ride, and that probably isn't for our club. Mm-hmm. We like to just work on cricketers and teach them the way the game is played, and I think that's what our strength is, right? And that's probably why the keen juniors would like to come.